Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a book on haul. These books are books that I didn't like or I don't think I'll continue in this series, and there are also arcs here that I don't think that I will read or arcs that I've read and I don't like. So I will be looking to give those away, and then the rest of the books I will probably take to a used bookstore. First, I'm going to start with my stack of arcs that I'm getting rid of. First on this is Bonfire by Kristen Ritter, and I went back and forth a lot with deciding if I was going to get rid of this one or not, and honestly I just don't think I'm going to get to it, which is unfortunate because I do love Kristen Ritter. I think she's an amazing actress. I just don't think that the story is calling me, and I don't think I'm interested in reading it, and if I end up changing my mind then I can go pick a copy of the book up. Then I have an arc of Mean Girls, and I've seen the film a million times and I'm not interested in reading a book about it. Next up I have a middle grade called The Colors of Rain, and this book is actually written in verse, but I just don't see myself getting to this anytime soon, so it comes out in September, so I'd like to get it to somebody that is going to read and review it and hopefully enjoy it. Next up I have The Breathless by Tara Gogin, and this is a book set in New Orleans. There's like a lot of witchy stuff going on, and I read this last year and I just didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping to, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of it. Then I have Bull by David Elliott, and this is also written in verse and it is about mythology. Give Me Some Truth by Aaron Gainsworth, and this came out May this year, and I'm just not interested in reading about a boy band or anything like that, or yeah, the story just doesn't talk to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and We All Fall Down by Natalie D. Richards, and I haven't read this book, don't think I'm going to. We Can't Be Friends by Cindy Elter. Don't see myself picking this one up either. Fade Away by Maureen Ella Stokes, and this is a book about girls playing basketball and grief and friendship and everything, and this did come out in June, or is coming out in June. I'm not sure what the exact date is, but I just don't see myself reading this kind of middle grade. Next up are the stack of books that I have read and I didn't like, or whatever the case may be, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go through them quickly. The Hero on the Crown by Robin McKinley, and I haven't read this one, and I have another copy, so I don't need 2 copies of this book, so I'm just gonna get rid of this copy and keep my other copy on the shelf so that when I am ready to read it, I do have a copy to read. King Arthur and His Knights of the Round Table. I read this book last year and it took me forever, and I just don't see myself rereading it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say bye-bye. The Curse of the Wreck Family, and this book is signed and personalized, but I just don't see myself picking it up. Stung by Bethany Wiggins, and I really was interested in this book when I picked it up. Actually, I saw it out a few times and almost bought it before I actually really did buy it, but it's just been sitting there for so long that I'm just not interested anymore, so I'm just gonna let it go. The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, and I love the Raven Cycle. I love Maggie's writing. I think it's gorgeous. However, I did not enjoy this book until like the last 50 pages. I just didn't find it entertaining. I found it very slow and dragging, and I do not see myself rereading this. And Abundance of Catherines by John Green, and it's a hit or miss for me with John Green books. I love Looking for Alaska. Paper Towns was okay, but this one I absolutely hated. It was so boring and bleh. A lot of you are probably going to be surprised to see this one on this list, but Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I listened to this. I didn't like it. I don't think I'm going to continue with the series at all. If I want to know what's going to happen with the sisters, I'll just watch a spoilery video on it, but I just don't see myself needing to find out what's going on enough to read the rest of these books. I didn't like the narrative. I didn't like the writing style. It just wasn't for me. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and when I read this book, I think I kind of wanted to enjoy it as much as everybody else, so I forced myself to, and the longer I simmered on it, the longer I was like, you know what, I didn't like that book as much as I thought I did. I just don't see myself continuing on with the series. It is a pretty big series, and I just don't want to drag myself through it if I really don't want to. I have plenty of books that I do want to read, so bye. Then I have Uprooted by Naomi Novik, and I started this book out physically and then I picked it up on audio, and I predicted this was going to be a 5-star read for me, and it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it that much, so I'm just going to let this book go to the hands of somebody who might enjoy it. Seduction by Molly Cochran, and when I bought this book I didn't realize it was the third book in the series. I did end up picking the first book up on my Nook and I enjoyed it. It was pretty good, but I just didn't continue with the second book, and now it's been so long that I don't see myself finishing. I didn't enjoy it enough to continue, so I'm just gonna let it go. I'm sure you guys are not surprised to see this one in here, To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and if you watched my wrap up, then you know I really didn't enjoy this book at all, and I gave it 2 stars generously because honestly it was a 1 star for me. Like, I didn't like this at all. Another book that I thought was going to be 5 stars and completely wasn't. When Dimple Met Rishi by Zendaya Manon, and this is too cliche, too cheesy, too much for me. It was too much lovey-dovey, and I don't like it. Gotta go. Star Wars Jedi Academy. As I said in my book haul, my meeting experience with him was awful, and I don't want to read anything by him. I don't want to own anything by him. It's signed and personalized, but hopefully it can go just somewhere. I don't know. I don't care. Looks like I have another arc in the stack, Maid, which is a hardworking woman's contemporary or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I know I don't want to read it, so I'm letting it go. And this comes out in January, so. An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, and I really did want to keep this book simply because of the amazing cover art. I think it is so beautiful. This cover is stunning. I just don't see myself rereading this book. I don't feel like I need to keep it, so I'm just gonna let it go. Sorry. Here's another one I wanted to keep simply for the cover art, which is Want by Cindy Pon. I wanted to love this book. I really did. I just didn't. It was slow. The chapters were long. They were dragging. I wasn't entertained. I was very bored. And so, I'm sorry again. Hopefully he goes to a good home. Little Panic by Amanda Stern. Don't even remember what this is about, but I got it at BookCon and I just know, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that, so bye-bye. Finally, the last 2 books on this list are a series, and that is Truth Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. And I really did go back and forth about keeping this because I semi-enjoyed this. I was like, yeah, I think maybe I'll like book 2 more because everybody says book 2 is better and more entertaining. And then I was just like, honestly, if I do decide to read these, which I don't think I will probably do audiobook, but I just don't feel like the story was like enthralling me or anything like that enough to just continue on with it. Like I said earlier, I have a lot of books that I want to read, and I don't want to force myself to read anything that I really didn't enjoy the first book that much anyways. So bye bye. So you guys, that is my book Unhaul. I feel pretty good getting rid of this amount of books. I thought maybe I would get rid of more, but I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Not sorry, I just couldn't get rid of any more at this moment. That is a lot for me, so I feel pretty good about it. If you guys read any of these books and feel the same, let me know, or if you don't feel the same, let me know. It is cool, we can agree to disagree. We don't have to like the same books, but I would like to know if you did like any of these, and please don't yell at me, because I'm sorry if any of these are your favorite books, but it's okay if we have different reading tastes. As always, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye!